Pretty big box. This is a 4-foot wide section, and so instead of buying 2 more sheets to make these doors solid, I'm getting ready to stitch them up. So the trick to welding this sheet metal, although I know this is 3/16, I'll probably just run some little like 3/4 inch, 3/4. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Row Access. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Row Access. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Row Access. See that blue flame now? Just got through running all the seams on the outside. Okay, so out here day 4, I think it's Monday, on the bed build. Last night we got rained out pretty much, so that ended the day for us. So got the front decked out, going to clean off this torch cut. My saw kind of crapped out on me to make the cuts with the saw, so I cut the sides with a cut-off wheel, ran the long cuts with a torch. Saves blades anyway, so it works out. So I'm gonna clean that cut up. I'm gonna buy steel, I think already cut, to do the oxygen rack, just because I don't want to cut it, but we'll see. I was gonna build it at a 1/8, but I think maybe now I'll do it at 3/16. Wally's is made out of 1/8, and I'm not sure I like how structural it is, but mine's gonna be a flat rack, so it might not be as big of a deal. So maybe 1/8 will work, and then I can just cut it myself. But anyway, now I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna line my boxes out. I wanna get the back part of the frame done. I liked this softer angle on the back here. I'm ready to get this back part on so I can start working on my taillights. My taillights came in. Only 3 of the 15 lights work, so I had to order another set. So they should be in today. So I think tonight I might try to wire up at least a temporary panel to get this crap off of here, because these are causing me a lot of issues. They keep sliding off and falling off. So it's about an hour-and-a-half drive up here, hour and 20-minute drive to where we are from my house, and it's just a lot of work to keep those freaking lights on there. So anyway, just trying to determine how I want to lay this angle out. I don't want a 45. The problem is the 8-foot mark for the bedside comes to about here. Let's see. Yeah. So the 8-foot mark on the bed, material wise, goes from there to around here, which would mean I'd have pretty much a hard angle 45-ish right here. And I think I want to push it back a little bit more, just because I like that softer tail, and that makes the box a little bit bigger, a little bit more accessible from the side and from the back. So yep, just trying to decide that out, and then I'll weld the frame up for those, and then that way I can sheet what's left on top. What's going on, guys? So I'm out here. I got end of day 4. Still gonna work a little bit longer today, but I just wanted to show you guys what I was up to today. So I went ahead and framed out the back part of where the boxes are gonna go. So check it out. Okay, kick that machine off real quick. So this is basically the shape of the rig. I went with that little softer angle like I was talking about on the back. I wasn't really wanting to go straight 45, but I'm gonna have some pretty huge box space on the sides. So my fenders will obviously come down into here, and so I'll have that little bit of storage up to the top. It won't be as deep as it seems because of the leaf springs, but it's a pretty big box. This is a 4-foot wide section, and so instead of buying 2 more sheets to make these doors solid, I'm getting ready to stitch them up. So the trick to welding this sheet metal, although I know this is 3/16, I'll probably just run some little like 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, and then maybe an inch here, then in the middle, and then I'm gonna let it cool. I'll go over here and start measuring out the other little triangle piece that's gonna go here, and then maybe cut that, then go over there and stitch some more, flip it over. Then I'll make my measurement for the 4-foot piece, which should be about the same, but the boxes aren't identical. It never works out exactly like you want square wise. And then go over there, chop the other piece, come back over here, stitch that one together, and then it'll be about time to go. I still got to finish up buffing up this cut. I got some fire blanket I'm going to use to put over the tank. So I want to do that, and then I'm going to go home, pressure wash everything under here before I finally start boxing everything in. Unfortunately, I had planned to put my my jacks box there, but it doesn't look like, I thought I was going to be able to get some jacks on top of the fifth wheel or on top of the gooseneck, but I am not. Man, look at that pretty slag from the cut. So I'm not going to be able to get jacks in there. So I could make a small jack box that would just hold a couple jacks, or I could just box it off and do something else. So I think for the time being, I'm just going to plate it off. And then I'm kind of considering maybe just putting just some odd and end storage there, and maybe just put some expanded metal or grate or whatever in the bottom, and then I'll have that for whatever. But so the back box here, when I take this when I take the bumper off, this will obviously drop down, so I'll have a little section here that'll be flat, and then it'll drop down deep, and then it'll be straight down from there. Now, had I known the jacks weren't going to fit there, I probably would have backed this up a few more inches just so I could have the extra space. But I'm not cutting all this crap off, and I didn't really realize that till I had already started welding in these support bars for the doors. So yeah, I want the 1x1 on the side because I'm going to overhang my doors because I don't want water to get in them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a 1x1 all the way around the outside edge, and then that will be the outside, so that will line up with where the body line comes, or the sheet metal comes for the side. And so from the side it will be flat, and then you'll have a little notch down, and then it'll run. So I hope it looks as slick as it does in my brain. And then I'm leaving this open for the time being because I am going to put my backup camera back in here. That's going to require some fishing, and so I want to at least be able to get lights and wires and whatnot in there. And then so this box here won't be quite as big as Wally's, but maybe it will. Wally's got a pretty deep box back there, but his kind of just tapers like from here down. And so I think I'm going to just notch it and make it a little box. And as long as I keep the water out of it, it won't get to be gross or anything, and I think it will be nice. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do the water channel for the back. I was going to do the same thing that I did here, but I don't really want to notch this stuff out, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll notch it out on the back part here and then just weld in. I have some 1-inch angle I could invert, weld it in there, and then do the same thing for the outside edge of this box. And then for the inside edges, I'm just going to run a piece of angle channel and just run it at drop it down and just run it at a slope. And so when water does roll into that edge, it's going to catch into that channel and run down. And then I'm just going to take the angle, turn it upside down, face it into the corner, and then it will just run right over those glorious wire feed welds. My liner is jacking up in my little wire machine, so I'm a little sad. Some of my wire welds have come out okay. Most of them are getting ground off anyway. Like that one doesn't look bad, but I've already buffed some of it down. But like that one back there looks kind of horrible. The liner just hangs up and you can't really get into a good rhythm, so you just have to kind of stop and start, but whatever. I got some crappy low-high welds and downhill welds all over this thing, just messing around with it in different positions. I don't really low-high weld that much, so I don't know. I've been trying to force myself to get into it and use it here, and I've kind of used it as trial and error. I'm not super worried about some of the structure stuff coming off, so like if I do a couple low-high welds, and I'll turn around and do a couple downhill welds where I feel like it's more safe, or I'll grind it down and low-high over it, or grind it down and downhill over it, you know. So whatever, I built the whole thing, it's all mine. Nobody can claim any of these pretty or ugly welds. But anyway, I'm going to kick off here and stitch this out. I'm probably getting a little bit dark by the time I leave out of here, but taking tomorrow off. So yeah, 4 days in a row. I got here at like 10 something this morning. It's 5 or 6 something. So 6-ish hours, probably do another hour or two, go home, and then take tomorrow off. And probably pressure wash under the truck. I want to get everything clean, figure out what I'm going to do for my fuel neck, and then try to source those parts. And maybe I'll mess around with that at home. I'll take the wire feeder home and use some sheet metal to try to build a little gas door or something. But hopefully by the time I get back to it, some of these videos will be uploaded. And my new taillights came in, so I can get rid of these glorious zip tie mods. But thanks for watching to this point, if you're watching, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.